everybody online. Hi, everybody in the room. Happy Tuesday. It is snowing, and I don't know about you. I love snow, so it's really great. Let's start sitting up for just a second. Quick demo. You can play along while we do this. We're going to do this on our backs, but it's sometimes easier to start sitting up. You can bring your legs out in front of you. If you're at home or in your office, feel free. You can sit on a chair if you prefer. External rotation of your leg in your hip. Okay, so you have a hip with a socket, you have a leg with a ball, and they fit together. This is very basic anatomy. Okay, the ball moves around in the socket, right? Everybody's socket's a different size. Some of you might have littler C-like sockets, and some of you might have bigger like C sockets. C sockets. That's like a whole new word. All right. So what you have is what you get. We don't necessarily want to force any more rotation than what we have. We have a socket with a labrum, which is a small, thin layer, which helps lubricate and move that ball around. Okay. Why I'm saying this is we're going to start with your legs out. You can put your hands behind you if you want, and you're going to pick up one leg. This is going to be harder. If this is too much, you do you, just bring your leg down. You're going to externally rotate your leg. It's going to roll around in that socket. It's going to stop. When it stops, let it stop. You don't have to force it anymore. That's what I mean by paying attention. That's your rotation. Then you're going to bring it back and lower it down. Lift the other leg, externally rotate. Notice where it stops. That's a good place. You don't have to push it any further. Bring it back. One more time. Lift the other leg. Nice and strong. Externally rotate. So your leg rolls away. Leg rolls back. Rotate. Okay, we're going to come on our backs. We're going to do something similar like this in about 3 minutes, but we're going to start by breathing again. Okay, so come onto your back or find a nice, comfortable seated shape. Bring your arms down by your sides. And then give yourself a few moments to settle, feeling the ground or feeling the chair or the earth you're on. Let's give ourselves maybe, 10, 20 seconds in silence. And then bringing attention to your breathing. You feel a little less chest breath, and a little more movement, a little more residue of your breath in your lower rib cage. Maybe even all the way down into your belly area, out into the front of your hips. So bringing awareness to your breathing. Little less movement in your chest. Feeling, noting the sensations, the residue of your breathing lower in your lower ribs. All the way around front body, side body, back body. So front lower ribs, side lower ribs, back lower ribs. We talk quite a bit here about tone in that area of your corset cummerbund. So tone is different than locking down and squeezing so hard that we don't have movement, okay? Or pulling your belly in so much that it feels super duper tight. It's not what we're going for. So as you exhale, trying to feel, it's almost like a deep hug. If you're a corset cummerbund, we're going to just get a little bit tighter. And then when you inhale, your corset cummerbund keeps that tightness tension, but it still expands. So in my body, when I try to feel this, I use the imagery of a TheraBand and how a TheraBand, it has tension both when it shortens and it can have tension when it lengthens. Two more breaths. Then when you're exhaling, take 2 longer exhales. See if you can exhale all the air out. Nice, easy, natural inhale. If you're sitting, slowly transition onto your back. And then when you get on your back, bend your knees. So if you have straight legs here, bend your knees. Take your right knee up over your right hip. And then just bend and straighten your right leg 3 times, giving your right back leg some stretch. And then the next time your right leg is a little straighter than bent, pause. Now imagine somebody came along and wanted to force your leg to bend and you were like, I'm not going to bend my leg. So we want to have that internal resistance here. And then we're going to point and flex in your ankle 3 times. And then after 3, you're going to point your toe and then externally rotate your leg. Roll your knee, roll your toe out, and then bring it back in 3 times. So you keep your leg straight up to the ceiling and you're just rotating. You're rolling your knee out to the right and rolling your knee back towards your shoulder or your ear or your face. And then bring your right leg down to the floor. Take 2 breaths. So constructive rest pose is your baseline rest. Left knee comes up over your left hip. Bend and straighten the leg 3 times. Waking up that feeling a little more posterior back leg. And the next time your left leg is straightish, pause. 3 times in your ankle. And then point. And imagine someone's coming around trying to bend your leg and you're like, I'm not going to let that happen. So you can feel there is strength at your knee joint. There's strength in the back of the knee joint. And then it's externally going to rotate. You're going to roll your thigh bone and your knee out to the left and then bring it back. Roll the knee. Bring it back. One more time. And then when that knee foot come back, lower the leg, bend the knee, lower the leg, and give yourself 3 breaths. All right, your arms are going to be down just a little bit wider than your mat, palms face down. So shifting your awareness to your upper back. So see if you can Even if you have to go side to side a little bit, find your shoulder blades. See if you can scoop your shoulder blades on your back so they're not so pointy on the floor. Okay, so shoulder blades nice and strong on your back. You don't have to force the back of your shoulders down. See if you can feel the back shoulder blade out the back shoulder into your tricep, back of your arm. So there's a strong connection into your upper back and the back of your arm, okay? And your palms are pressing down. Now, either one leg or both legs at the same time, pick them up, knees over hips, and take both legs up to the ceiling. Now, externally rotate both legs, heels come together. Take your legs out like a V and bring them back in and tap your heels. You're going to inhale, go out. Exhale, pull them in. Okay, next time your heels come together, pause and check in with your low back. Do one more and try really hard not to let your low back pop off the floor. So you're going to take your legs out wide. Pause. Did your low back pop up off the floor? Adjust so it didn't. If you have to bend your knees a little bit, move your legs a little different angle, try to keep your low back down. Okay, now bring your heels together. Here we go. We're going to make a circle. You're going to inhale, go out wide. Exhale, lower your legs a little bit. Bring your heels together out in front of you and then sweep your legs up to the ceiling. Go out wide, down, scoop them together, sweep them up. Out wide, down, around, and up. And you're going to find just the right range of motion that you're not popping your legs up off of the floor. Or sorry, you're not popping your back off the floor. One more, you got this. And then when your legs come together, lower down and rest. Ah. Let everything that can rest, rest. And give yourself 3 breaths. Great. Then bring your knees back up over your hips. Hold on to the back of your legs. And let your legs help roll you all the way to sitting to standing. So roll all the way on up. And come all the way on up to stand. Woo! And give yourself a few breaths. All right, so from your standing mountain, keep your right leg on the floor. Just bring it out in front. You can keep your toes down. Point. So here's your hips. Roll your leg out and roll it back. Okay. Good, 2 more. You feel how your leg moves independently from your hip. So your hip doesn't move, your leg's moving. And then bring it back. Left side. Left leg rolls out, rolls back in. So like when we were sitting, that leg rolls away and it stops. That's where it stops. You don't have to force it to go anymore. Lubricating the ball up in the socket or the leg in the socket. 1 more. Great. And then bring both legs together. So for some of us, having our legs parallel works. For some of us, if we just gave our legs a little bit of external rotation, we'd find more opening in the front of the hip. So we're going to do 6 forward folds. That's where we push our butts back and fold over. And you explore this on your own here. So a lot of times I'll say, be curious. Here's where you can be curious. Do you have parallel legs? What's it feel like as you have parallel legs and you push your butt back? Then find a little external rotation. and push your butt back. Which one feels better in your hip? Or hips, I could say. Right? Maybe it's a little easier for you. Maybe there's not as much cramping if you have a little bit of external rotation. And then maybe one more and we'll come on up. And then we'll take a wide stride. So no need to hurry. You go at your own pace. You can face me if you're in the room, or you can look outside. All right, so do you see how your heels are in and your toes are out? We're going to take your arms just in line with your legs. And when you go down, we're going to externally rotate your arms and externally rotate your legs. When you come up, internally rotate your arms, internally rotate your legs. Legs externally rotate. Come back up. Add as much resistance as you need. So you can go really slow. Add lots of internal rotation. Maybe you go a little faster. Use less. One more. Great. Then when you come up, step both feet together. Take 3 breaths. And then using what you learned from your last forward fold, maybe it was nice to have a little external rotation and your feet are a little more in a V. Maybe your feet are parallel. What works for me doesn't always work for you. So finding your legs, finding the weight in your feet. When you're ready, exhale, sweep your arms out and up. Push your butt back, take a nice long forward fold. Hands can be on your legs or coming over to the floor. Then you're going to inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, arms to the side. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Push your butt back, fold. Inhale, come up. Exhale, arms to your side. All right, this time we're going to step back to downward facing dog. So facing the front of your mat. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Push your butt back, long spine, bend your knees as much as you need. Hold on over. And then step your feet back. You can come to tabletop if you need to first. Or you can come straight to downward facing dog. If you're at home, don't hesitate to use a chair if you need to. And everyone pauses in their own shape for 3 breaths. Maybe bend your knees. Keep your heels lifted. Find your butt. Okay, if you're in down dog, push your butt straight back. And feel how that lengthens all the way through your arms and your armpits and your ribs. Then exhale, we're all going to find tabletop. And find your strong table. You can come down to your forearms if you need to. You can be on fists. Okay. Draw your navel up just a little bit. Here comes your challenge. Try really hard not to let your low belly drop. Okay. So you want to try and keep your belly button as high as your sternum. As you take your right foot and just slide it down or back behind you. Keep your left foot on the mat. And keep a little bit of bend now in your right knee. So you can go out straight and then give your right knee a little bend. We're going to lift the right leg up to the ceiling 5 times. And try really hard not to let your back move a whole lot. This is more about that deep internal strength of the low belly and the low back. And oh yeah, you probably feel it in your left hip, right? Yeah. Oh, last one. Okay, then bring your right knee in, sit back, stretch out. Maybe do a child's pose just for a couple of breaths. And then when you feel ready, come back to your table. Okay, feel your table first. You're going to try and keep the integrity of this shape. As you take your left leg back on the floor, toes are down, and then give your left knee a little bend and lift and lower that left leg. You feel the relationship of the leg. You're trying not to move the hip, trying not to move your low back. So the leg moves independently from the pelvis, from the low back. Great, then the left knee comes back. Your choice, child's pose or downward facing dog this time. 3, 4, 5 breaths. If you're in down dog, I'd encourage you to bend your knees and really push your butt cheeks back. Maybe even feel your sit bones go up a little bit, long side body, long spine. Great, and then we're gonna exhale, come back down to a table. One more series here, right leg goes back. Left arm's gonna come forward a little bit. So you're gonna bend your right knee a little bit again, okay? And you're gonna try and get your left arm to touch your right knee and then extend. Hand to knee, extend. You got this. Rest when you need to rest. Woohoo, one more. Come back. Woo, child's pose or down dog, take a break. Take a few breaths. We'll be quiet for about 5 seconds. Great, back to your table when you're ready. You can always go rogue, okay? Do what you need to do. All right, build your table. Right hand comes forward, left leg goes back, bend your left knee a little bit, and touch hand to knee, and then spread them out. Extend, flex. You can go fast, you can go slow. I always find it harder, especially with balance things, to go slow. So we want functional core strength. We want strong core strength, but we also need that core to be really functional. Then we're going to come back to your table. You choose child's pose or downward facing dog, 5 seconds. We'll be quiet so you can again listen, feel, notice your shape. And then with your next exhale, we all have to figure out how to come all the way on up to stand. So everyone has their own way. Woohoo, give yourself a full stretch, mountain stretch up. And then bring your arms down. Great. All right, let's line up ears over shoulders, shoulders, ribs, hips. Arms are going to hang at your side. Here's your challenge. Can you keep your ribs in line with your hips as you take your arms back? Okay. So sometimes the tendency, as soon as you take the arms back, is to push that chest forward. So a lot of awareness here where your lower ribs and your upper abs meet. And then start to pull the arms back. Pull, pull, and then pull your arms down. Then push your butt back and fold over. And maybe your arms then go up to the ceiling. Sweet. And then come all the way on up to stand and give a big high five. We're going to do 2 more like that. Nice and aware of your midline, ears, shoulders, ribs, hips. Then fold. Reach the arms up and then come all the way back up, high five. Ears, shoulders, ribs, hips. Push your butt back, arms swing. Maybe your arms reach up to the ceiling. Okay, now see if you can bring some attention into your feet and shift the weight a little more into the balls of the feet. Try not to move your legs, just let your arms then swing down to the floor. Plant your hands and take a big step back, downward facing dog. All right, look back, see your right leg. You're gonna pick up your right leg, maybe a little bit, maybe a lot. Pick up your foot and draw your knee up, up, up into your chest as high as you can. Shift the weight forward and plant your foot down on the floor. Now put the weight in your right leg, swing your left leg forward, push down, come all the way up, big high five. Sweep your arms back behind you. Push your butt back, forward fold. Bring your hands down to the floor. Good. Step back, downward facing dog. Look at your left foot. Pick up your left foot. Hike your knee up into your armpit to your chest. Shift your weight forward. Step your foot down. Left foot comes down. Shift the weight to your left leg. Pick up your right foot. Push into your feet. Come all the way on up. Big high five. Swing your arms back. Fold over. Good. Keep your legs right there. Just let your hands come down to the floor. Walk your feet back, downward facing dog. Come all the way down this time to tabletop. Take your left arm out in front of you. Take your right leg back. Your choice is going to be a lot harder with a straight right leg, but you can keep it bent. 3 times. Lift, hand to knee, extend. Hand to knee, extend. Last one. Back to table. Stay in table. Go to child's pose or take downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Okay, exhale. We have to figure out how to come all the way on up to standing. So maybe you walk your feet to your hands. Maybe you just come up if you were in table. Come on up. Give yourself a big full body stretch. Bring your arms down. 5 seconds here, standing mountain meditation. Inhale, big stretch up. Swing your arms forward to come back. Push your butt back, fold over. Great, let your arms come down to the floor. Sweet, step back, downward facing dog. Tabletop. Right arm comes forward, left leg goes back. Touch, hand to knee, extend. Hand to knee, extend. Last one. Back to your table. Child's pose or downward facing dog, 5 seconds. If you're in down dog, start to walk your hands and feet together. If you're in child's pose, come to table. All of us find our own way all the way back up, maybe taking a standing mountain stretch or bringing your arms down to your side. 5 seconds, just hang out and rest. Take a few breaths. And then with your next exhale, stepping your feet wide. Remember all the way back when we started, external rotation, heels in, toes out. Arms are going to come down. So we go down, externally rotate your arms open. Come on up, internal arm bone rotation. So sumo squat, arms mimic your legs. Go as low as you want. So if you want to go really low in your squat, do it. Got 2 more. Knees press open, thighs press open. Great. Last one. Come on up, legs stay wide, arms hang. Take a couple of breaths. Pat your left leg. You're going to lift your left heel and your left leg's going to internally rotate. Feel your left leg roll in. Feel your right leg externally rotate, roll out. Go heel to heel. Yeah, so your legs are in that like warrior 2 shape. Okay, back left heel's anchored. Left back pinky toes really heavy. Okay, let's sweep the arms up as we bend the knees. So knee bends, right knee bends, arms sweep out and up. Right knee straightens, arms come down. 2 more. Sweep your arms out and up. All right, now bend your right knee, take your arms up. And now bring your hands down onto your hips. And take your gaze and see if you can see your right big toe. So this right thigh bone here, for some of us, it's going to want to valgus in. It's going to want to draw into your big toe. See if you can take the outer right leg and press it out towards your pinky toe. But keep your left or your right toe really heavy, okay? It's easy to pick up the right toe when you do that. So right toe stays heavy. Right thigh bone pressing out. Feel that in your right hip. Squeeze your right butt cheek. It's going to get icy. We need our butt cheeks to help balance. All right, side angle. Here you go. Tip on over. Hand, elbow to your right leg. Left arm straight up towards the ceiling. Good. Now push down to come all the way back up. Sweep both arms up to the ceiling. Straighten your right leg. You got it. Come back around. Heels in, toes out. 3 sumos with your hands up. Arms up. Go as low as you can. Push your thigh bones to your pinky toes. Open up your groins. Open up your inner thighs. There you go. Great. Bring your hands down to your hips. 5-second breath break. Just breathe. Nice. Feel your right back leg. It's going to lift your right heel. It's going to internally rotate. Left leg's going to externally rotate. Heel to heel. Feel your right back pinky toe really heavy. Okay. Arms sweep out and up as you bend your left knee. And straighten 3 times. Great. Next time your left knee's bent, pause. Bring your hands to your hips. Look, can you see your left big toe? So this lateral outside thigh bone is going to press a little more towards your pinky toe. Squeeze your left butt cheek. Sweet, tip over. Elbow, hand to the knee, right arm up, 3 breaths. Okay, bring awareness to your left glute, your left butt cheek. You feel it? When you feel it, come all the way back up. Left arm comes up. Woo! Steer both legs around. Now, when you take heels in, toes out, your legs are externally rotated. 3 deep sumos. Push your legs open, arms up. Sweet. Arms come down to your hips. Come down to your sumo squat. Push your legs open. If you want more challenge, lift your heels really high. Sweet. Come all the way on up, high heels. Pull your heels down to come in. Step your feet together, rest. Eyes open, eyes closed. You get a 10-second rest. 10 seconds in your day where no one's going to tell you what to do. Just get to hang out and breathe. And let your eyes open. All right, we're going to turn to face the back of your mat. So you're going to walk to the back of your mat and actually turn to face the front of your mat to make more sense. All right, so here's the plan. We're going to fold forward. You're going to walk your hands out to a tabletop or a plank or a downward facing dog. All right. So if you're at home and you want to use a chair, you can use a chair. Here we go. You're going to take your arms up, high five. You're going to sweep your arms back behind you. We're going to pause for just a moment to line things up. So as you open up across the front of the chest and you pull your arms down, ears back. Maybe tuck your chin a little bit. Ears, shoulder, ribs, hips. Push your butt back. Fold when you're ready. Arms come up. Pull your arms to the ceiling. Sweet. Now let your hands come down to the floor. Walk yourself out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down dog, plank, tabletop. You do you. 30 seconds in one of these places, challenging your upper back. Feeling those shoulder blades strong on your back. It's a little unfair. We didn't go over shoulder blades today, but here you go. You got this. Keep breathing. Great. Downward facing dog or table or child's pose. Find a spot you can come back and catch your breath. Nice. And then we're all going to come down to table. We're going to do 3 cat-cows. So if you weren't in table, come back. If you were in table, you get to hang out longer. Remember, cats where you draw your belly up and you round. And cows where you take your sternum, chest forward and lift up. You want to have strength and integrity the whole range of motion, the whole time. You have a moderate light amount, or maybe it feels like a moderate strong amount of tension through the whole entire transitional places. I'm having trouble talking today. Okay, now pause in your table. If you need to sit back and rest your hands, do it. Or make fists or come to your elbows. We're going to be here maybe 1 more minute, okay? Find your cat. So round your back. Push your belly button up, up, up. Now, if you want a little more challenge, you're going to stay right here and you're going to pick up your right knee and pull your right knee up into your armpit and hold your cat. You're going to take 5 breaths. And really, it should feel like work. You are pulling that knee up in your cat. Spine rounds. Pull your knee up, up, up. And now rest. And I mean, sit back, rest, let everything that can rest, rest. All right, back to table. I'm going to turn around, round your back. So find a really strong cat and pick up your left knee and squeeze your left knee up and hold for about 10 seconds. Keep breathing. And then put your left knee down. And then let every single thing rest for about 5 breaths. Great, and then come back to your tabletop. You can be in table. You could push back and rest in child's pose or come into the end of class. If you want something a little more vigorous, you're going to come to floating table, find a little bit of cat and step your feet back to plank and then back to floating table, back to plank, back to floating table. You can stay in table and just keep your knees down the whole time and go back to planks. You can come to child's pose. Okay, so I went through hardest to most easy. Floating tables to planks, right? Or plain tables to planks. We're just doing this for about 15 more seconds. If you're playing along, rest when you need to rest. Woo. And then we come on our backs and rest. And let everything that can rest, rest. So shake out your wrists. Shake out your legs. Give yourself a hug. It's hot in here now. And I bet the floor feels really good right now. All right, 3 bridge poses. So let's bring your heels in line with your sit bones. Push your belly button down into the floor and bring your arms out to your sides. Yeah. So palms face down. Push your belly button down into the floor and then slowly peel up into a low bridge. And slowly roll back down vertebra by vertebra. Awesome. 2 more like that, just rolling up. It might feel a little bit like a cat-cow, right? Like how we move. Nice and strong and trickle through cat-cow. You're trickling up and down out of your bridge. And then you can hold your bridge for a couple breaths. Check in again. Be curious what's going on in your chest and your throat and your face. Can you soften there? And then lower your bridge down vertebra by vertebra and take your feet, your legs up to the ceiling and give yourself a hamstring stretch. You might bring your heels together and go out and in like we started, a little bit of abductor, adductor work, inner leg, outer leg, hip work. All right, we always take the last part of class as self-care. So that could be you continuing through some stretching. That could be a few minutes of quiet sitting or lying back meditation, anchoring with your breath, anchoring with the floor, that feeling of grounding. This would be you closing your eyes and daydreaming, right? Whatever you do, right? You get 2 minutes here. And in the room, we'll take silence, 2 minutes in quiet to take care of ourselves. And then coming back to noticing what you notice. And just guide yourself back to 2 full breaths. Can you pay attention and be part of 2 inhales and 2 exhales? You might then draw your knees into your chest. You might take a full body stretch. The mites are endless, so feeling out, moving as you need to. And then we're going to slowly roll all the way over to the easiest side. Come all the way on up to sitting. Yay. Happy Tuesday. High fives, everybody. Woohoo. Thanks, everybody.